On this episode, Mark Zuckerberg will surely be the first emperor of the world and pay off your house and leave it to your children so the slot jockeys don't take it. This real estate stuff is not easy, so send me your questions and I will answer them. This is the Ask Jason Show. Hello everybody, my name is Jason Piercing and this is episode 61 of the Ask Jason Show. I feel lots of pressure right now for this to be the best episode that was ever created for a couple of reasons. One, Joe's family is in the room. They're all watching me. His dad is here. Oh, we got class, yay! His dad and his evil stepmother are here. His words, not mine. And the question actually comes from the lovely and talented Mr. George Dominics. He is talking about how he's about to pay off his mortgage. And I kind of looked at him and I was like, And he was like, what do you mean? I want to retire. I want to pay off my mortgage. Well, today's question is, does it make any damn sense to pay off your mortgage? Several schools of thought. Here's the way that I look at it. If your mortgage is paid off, you have a remarkably valuable asset that is like all your cash is tied up in it. So let's say your house is worth $200,000, George, and it's all tied up into the house. Now it's like having a bank account with 200 grand in that you're not allowed to touch. You can't do anything with it. Even if you're retired, no access to any of that money. My thought is, if I was retired and I had a mortgage and it was only on me and I wasn't worried about my children inheriting the debt of it, I would refinance it as far as I possibly could. I would haul every little bit of an equity out of it that I could, leave 20% in because the law is going to make you do that. I'd take my $160,000 and live out the remaining years of my retirement like, I'm trying to find an example of something that is really fun and happy. I was going to say like a pig and shit, but that sounds gross. But anyway, so depending on what your goal is, it's not always a good thing to have your mortgage paid off. It's cash tied up. Maybe you want to invest into something else. If you want to invest into something else, as long as the thing you're returning, the percentage of return on your investment is greater than the percentage you're paying on your mortgage, you're making money. So for instance, if I have a mortgage at 3.25% and I have a history of returning 7.5% as a day trader in the stock market, then I should remortgage my house as far as I can. Okay, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not telling you to remortgage your house and pull all of the equity out. Not saying that. Do you. I'll do me. You all do your own selves. I can't believe I just said your own self. Shout out to Jamie Green, the own self-originator. You do what works for you. What I'm saying is, if your mortgage is 3.5%, but you have a history of returning 7% on some other investment or building a side business, and then you're making 3.5% on your mortgage money. Like I just don't know why you'd be not taking advantage of the funds to leverage that to make more money. Even if you just put it into stocks. Like even if you went in, just do what Warren Buffett would do or Tony Robbins or whoever. For instance, Facebook just had a great big crash, well, not great big. They lost like 1 point something billion in a day on paper. On paper. Still a gigantic company. Still probably gonna take over the world. Mark Zuckerberg will probably still be the first global emperor. Like when we're all one nation. And so what was I saying? How did I get there? Facebook is gonna go back up. So if you have $200,000 fully paid off and you can remortgage that to 3.5% and leave 20% in, now you take out $160,000, you buy all Facebook. And then Facebook goes back up and that 3.5% that you're paying on the mortgage is well worth the like 20-something% that you make on $160,000 that you invested. Now do the math on that. Now compound that from now until the time you retire, George. George is moving to Mexico and living like a king forever. One more thing. Just don't go remortgage your house and like go drinking or go to Mexico. And definitely don't remortgage and go play the slots. Ding, 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 ding. Sometimes there is zero value in paying off your mortgage. However, if you intend to leave a legacy behind and you want your property to be somewhat of a family heirloom and you want it to go from generation to generation and generation because your great-great-grandfather owned the same property and you don't want the bank to take it when you die, then yeah. Pay the thing off. Pass it on to your children. Allow one of them to mess it up later. And I guess that's about it for today. Thank you for paying attention. Thank you, George. Thank you, evil stepmother. Thank you, Joe. And we will see you next time. The Ask Jason Show exists so that you can get good real estate related information from a resource that you can trust. Now, speaking of resources you can trust, here's a couple I would trust to work with my mom. Because good enough for mom, I mean, good enough for you.